Republican leaders are apparently so scared that the Epstein files are going to get out now that they're threatening their colleagues. Right? And this is apparently Trump's afraid that files might implicate his friends. And all of this, it started with the bipartisan effort launched by Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna, because they've just been working towards gathering enough signatures on a discharge petition that would force the House to vote on a bill requiring the DOJ to release the files. And now we've been waiting for this. A Democrat in Arizona just won a House seat in a special election this week. It seems like they've secured enough support to get the ball rolling. Right? And that Democrat, Adelita Grijalva, she's already committed to signing the petition once she gets sworn in. And the big thing is she's going to be the 218th person to back it, and 218 has been the magic number here. And so with that, you had Ro Khanna saying we're one step closer to releasing the full Epstein files and justice for the survivors. But that doesn't mean that it's guaranteed, right? Because you have Thomas Massie telling Semaphore that leaders in the Republican Party are trying to get some representatives to now walk back their support. Massie claiming that House Speaker Mike Johnson and, quote, some of the powers that be in D.C. are in full panic right now and adding, they came back and tried to get the four of us to take our names off the petition. They asked some of my colleagues who were co-signers, and they actually threatened them politically, not physically. And that's huge because Massie, right, he's one of four Republicans who signed the petition alongside Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. And yesterday, you had similar reports coming out with sources telling CNN that GOP members were privately being pressured to withdraw from the petition. Also with that, you had CNN speaking to Boebert, who said that she hadn't faced pressure and will be keeping her name on board. But still, if you go online or you go on Twitter, you can see that there are clear tensions and divisions among the right wing and MAGA regarding bringing the Epstein files forward. Or just yesterday, you had Representative Clay Higgins slamming Massie for this petition, arguing, it's a shame what my friend Thomas has done, attempting to injure the Republican Party and ignore privacy rights of hundreds of innocent Americans who may have their life turned upside down because of his weird petition. Right? Notably, that's a part of a talking point that Mike Johnson has been using over and over, claiming that the legislation, it doesn't go far enough to protect the victims whose information could be in the files. Right? But Massie, he's not only defended himself against that claim, but said that Republicans, they need to just essentially get over it and brace for a vote. And well, with that, I think it's important to keep in mind that the Wall Street Journal, they just did a piece about the White House's effort to rein in the Epstein discourse. Right? And it basically explained how the Trump administration has tried to handle it from January until right now. And TLDR, it sounds like no one at any point has ever been on the same page for even a minute. And some of the standout moments from the article include the Journal saying, Trump has told aides he was worried some of his friends might be mentioned in the files and has complained that people should be talking about the administration's wins, not about Epstein, according to people familiar with the comments. Adding at other times, he worried aloud that the files might have been doctored to hurt him. And then on top of that, you had sources reportedly telling them that Trump told aides he couldn't understand why people were so obsessed with the deceased financier and sex offender. People don't understand that Palm Beach in the 90s was a different time. He groused. But also, as politicians aren't giving up the Epstein fight, neither is the public. And I mean that in several ways. I mean, you might have seen a statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands being put up in the National Mall this week. Right? It had a little plaque saying the statue was in honor of Friendship Month, as Epstein previously said Trump was his closest friend. So there, I'll say after being up for around a day, it's been removed.